Good morning, everyone. I have something to show you. I could go over there to the trees and show you. So it's going towards it. This is actually the due date of my daughters and my little granddaughter. But so a couple more days, then they will induce her because that baby is big. My daughter big too. For right now. Both healthy. My daughter is just, and she looks beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so, yes, today. And yesterday, my brother-in-law came back home. So the trees are middle of May. It's safe to say now, yes, there is not one peach that's growing on these trees, which they are so many this year. First time after 7 years, yes, that they are loaded with it, that the frost didn't create that possibility, the late frost, the last frost, to have them, literally they can't stay on, they just fall off. And last year we had a few, yes, okay, a little more than a few, but it was not, I didn't even get a bite of it because I wasn't here. And this year there's so many on there, okay, that even though they're about this big now, about this big around, that the branches are starting to sag. Yes. That's wonderful. Safe to say they're going to stay on, right? Yes, we'll be sharing with the birds and the bees and the, yeah, but we're keeping an eye on them. And I'm so excited. My brother-in-law gets home yesterday, yes, from being with my husband up at my daughter's, working on my little workshop. And this is what he brought home. Two of them. Two more peach trees. This is how big they are right now. Yes. There's the other one. You want to show yourself too? Yes, I do. Please. There you go. Hiya. We got a pair. And I already got the containers ready to put them in first. Yeah, they are, here where we live here, you've got to take real good care of little tiny ones like that. These were bigger when I got them. And so they have to go first in a pot for a year or two, and then, well, we'll find, well, as big as these are, I think this is a different variety. The leaves don't quite look the same. They look similar, but I can tell there is a difference. Anyway, so there you go, right? All good things come in fours, not threes. Okay. Pears. Oh, so excited. Anyway, so we're gonna do that today. We got the best dirt, yeah, to give these two little trees a home, and wow. Now I got my my kiwi plant. I know why my kiwi plant isn't producing anything. Kiwis, kiwis, the way the foliage is of a kiwi is they grow vines, and the vines have to be established enough to actually produce flowers and then grow fruit. And after all these years, I just haven't been able to, yes, maybe this year, I don't know. And I keep cutting the. Why am I doing that? Long story. Not gonna go there. Maybe if I make sure that these two little peach trees are well taken care of, brought by someone else, that someone else will, right, reciprocate the give and take and build something for my kiwi plant. We'll see. Never give up, never give in, never give up hope. All right, we are in the book of Ezra in 6. That's all I have to share right now. Oh yeah, there's other stuff going on here. Just got to work together and remind people to work together. Yes? It's all right. King Darius replies. Oh yeah, let's see now. Then, on the order of King Darius, search was made in the archives deposited in the treasuries in Babylon, and a scroll was found in the fortress of Ecbatana, which ran as follows. Memorandum. Oh, I just thought, wait a minute, is that already it? Because there's another super chapter. Oh, okay. In the first year of King Cyrus issued this order. Temple of God in Jerusalem. The temple is to be rebuilt as a place of offerings, sacrifice, and its foundations retained. Its height is to be 60 cubits, its width 60 cubits, with 3 layers of large stones and 1 layer of timber. Wow, not only is there, but on how to. That's interesting. The cost is to be met by the royal treasury. Furthermore, the gold and silver articles belonging to the temple of God, which Nebuchadnezzar took from the temple in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, are to be given back and returned to the temple in Jerusalem, each to its proper place and deposited in the temple of God. That's how you make friends, don't you? Hence, Tatanai, governor of Trans-Euphrates, Shethar-Bozenai, and your associates, the officials of Trans-Euphrates, keep away from there. Leave the governor of the Jews and the elders of the Jews alone to get on with their work on that temple of God. They are permitted to rebuild that temple of God on that site. And herewith are my instructions as to how you will assist these elders of the Jews in the rebuilding of that temple of God. Now we find out something about Darius here. What is he doing? He's following the instructions left behind by whom? Guided by whom? Aha! Interesting. Outsiders. Oh, it's my another brother-in-law's birthday today. I knew there was a birthday on my granddaughter's due date. I knew there was a birthday somewhere in May. I couldn't remember who it was, though. There you go. That's just told. Isn't that amazing? It's outsiders that are actually keeping what? Interesting? Alrighty. Just saying. Beware when you think you're the only ones. The cost is to be paid in full to these men from the royal revenue, that is, from the taxes of Trans-Euphrates, and without interruption. Oh, now we know why they may have complained. And whatever is required, young bulls, rams, lambs, for burnt offerings to the God of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, oil, as the priests in Jerusalem request, is to be given them day by day without fail, so that they may offer sacrifices acceptable to the God of heaven and pray for the life of the king and his sons. Furthermore, I have issued an instruction that if anyone disobeys this order, a beam is to be torn from his house. He is to be impaled on it. Oh, wow. And his house is to be reduced to a rubbish heap for his offense. And may the God who has caused his name to live there overthrow the king of any people who dares to defy this and destroy that temple of God in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have issued this order. Let it be punctiliously obeyed. This brings me to... So King Darius, rather than, well, okay, whatever was said then, let me see what's going on now, and then again be what? Influenced like Xerxes and Artaxerxes, whatever their names were, right? Yes? And brainwashed. Yeah? These two kings didn't even, okay, let's go and see what's going on here. No, but King Darius said, let me go and see. He was willing to go and do the research. Search for, okay, what was actually put in place at that time. And okay. Interesting. Yeah. Which brings me to something that a lot of people, I know that, don't know. And certain people don't want to know about. And that is that Muhammad left. And it's in a Turkish monastery, a document behind as well, where it says clearly that Christians are not to be bothered. And that they are allowed to practice their religion in his territory. Just saying. Or throw Muhammad out and say, nah, I'm going to do whatever I want, like these other two kings, Xerxes and Artaxerxes. Right? Yes? Just saying. If you want to have someone as the guiding light in your life, then one stays true to what they put in place. Is that right? Yes? I'm just saying. Just reminded me of that. You guys go and check it out. It's very interesting to read on what it says on there. And it has Muhammad's handprint on it. I'm just saying. Don't be a pretender out there. Either go with it on who you believe, put certain things in place, or throw them out. Throw them out and make up your own stuff. Right? Yes? Can't have it both ways. All right. The temple is completed. Tatanai, governor of Trans-Euphrates, Shethar, Batsanai, and their associates punctiliously obeyed the instructions sent by King Darius. Why do you think they followed that? I had no choice. And the elders of the Jews made good progress over their building, thanks to the prophetic activity of the prophet Haggai and Zechariah, son of Iddo, completing the reconstruction in accordance with the command of the God of Israel. Okay, that's not true, but okay. God did not want the temple, and the order of Cyrus and of Darius. But I had a feeling by then they needed something to just have something where they could draw from a foundation. The Israelites were so fragmented by then. So I kind of understand on why, and it's so, okay. But to begin with, this would not be necessary. There's all this restoration stuff going on that then involves things that would never have been necessary to begin with. Okay, just saying. This temple was completed on the 23rd day of the month of Adar in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. So that took some time. The Israelites, the priests, the Levites, and the remainder of the exiles. Oh my gosh, this is bringing back. I've read this at some point, some years back. I have a deja vu here. The Israelites, the priests, the Levites, and the remainder of the exiles joyfully celebrated the dedication of this temple of God. For the dedication of this temple of God, they offered 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and as a sin offering for all Israel, 12 he-goats, corresponding to the number of the tribes of Israel. Okay. Then they installed the priests in their orders and the Levites in their positions for the ministry of the temple of God in Jerusalem, as prescribed in the book of Moses. So we're back on track. Let's see for how long. The Passover of 515 before Christ. Okay, now we're going back again, because this is, the time frame here is a bit confusing, because It says 520 to 515, so they were building the temple. But then during the reign of some other, the king Artaxerxes, it all stopped. But everything seems to be happening within this 5-year period, which seems odd because, as I said, there was this governor in place, right, among in Judah, and they're making it sound like they didn't know was it that one, this particular one, or a certain one, and this, and then the name, and that's weird to me. It's an odd one to me. So I don't know. It is written down here as it is, but I think we're missing some things here. And the time frame doesn't seem right. The Passover of 515 BC. The exiles celebrated the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. The Levites, as one man, had purified themselves. All were pure, so they sacrificed the Passover for all the exiles, for their brothers, the priests, and for themselves. So the Israelites who had returned from exile and all those who had renounced the filthy practices of the people of the country to join them in resorting to Yahweh, God of Israel, ate the Passover. The way that's put in here again is, I mean, I get it, but for 7 days they joyfully celebrated the feast of unleavened bread, for Yahweh had given them cause to rejoice, having moved the heart of the king of Assyria, of Persia, isn't it? Wait a minute. Well, if King Darius is in Babylon, then he is from Persia too, isn't he? All right. What's going on here now? In their favor, to support them in their work on the temple of God, the God of Israel. Well, he may have been king of Assyria too, but he's actually the king of Persia, right? Why is it in here like this now? Okay, you see the discrepancies? I'm not saying, oh, it can't be true. I'm just saying there are discrepancies that we should be aware of, that we should kind of, listen and going, what other discrepancies are in here? Again, I'm reading this, I'm doing this condition, number 1, for restoration of true Father as well, and reputation, and of course, the main thing, the reputation of God, our Heavenly Parent. Yes? Again, you can't have it both ways. You can't have an avenging, wrathful, angry God, and at the same time, one that's loving and caring and this and that. Well, but we also kind of, wait. You know, there's a lot of things that man has invented. What did I say about astrology? I believe in astronomy. I do, but not in astrology. That's man-made. Right? For what purpose exactly? Yes? Well, that's a belief right there. Emotions are also, emotions, the way we show emotion, that's all a belief as well, in many ways. That's what it is. One of our spiritual senses, one of our physical senses, yes, and the way it comes out, that's a physical sense. And the way we feel it, that's a spiritual sense. But just saying, who came up with the idea that it is okay to pick up a rock and kill their own brother? God? Okay, just saying. Yes? We've been given as human beings all the tools, every tool, all the help to build up a good life, a proper life, a life where you're able to step back, reflect, then react. Take measures according, on how, okay, what's the solution here? How do I have to put my foot down? But you do it in a calm, collected manner, right? Yes? When my children were still young, People tell you all kinds of things. When you're a new parent, you're just wondering, what am I going to do in this case? What am I going to do in that case? It is. You need some guidance, right, from people, and you get all kinds of advice. Some of it is not so good. And I went to a parenting class, and it said, you are allowed to physically discipline your children until like 3 years old or something. Yeah, not by beating them or whatever. Right? But a slap on the hand, no, we're not going to do that. So they can, right? Because children, when they're really, really young, what do? Right? Do they already have the cognizance of understanding exactly what you're saying? But physically, they are going to get up, no, right? Yes, certain other things too. Surely you wouldn't watch, right? Your child running out into the street, and here comes a car, right? Which in my case, and I had to pull my son back on his hair. That's all I could grab. So there are times, right, where you're not going to let your child burn their hand on a hot stove while you're watching. You're going to grab that hand. That's a physical discipline, okay? All right? But after that, when the child starts to understand what you're saying, you talk to them, yes? And never, never discipline a child while you're angry. You have to collect yourself first before you do that. It works. It really works. Oh, was I always... Okay, I'm a first generation and learning a lot of this kind of stuff. And I'm of course, you'll still make mistakes. I never beat my children. Never did that. And by the youngest one, my youngest one got disciplined very few times. Very few times. Because by then, I was an expert. I think that physical discipline, again, there are two sides to that story. Spanking. I was asked, but do you believe in spanking? No, absolutely I do not. Because it's not working. It has never worked and it will never work. There are many other ways to get through to a child. Causing them physical pain does not instill love in a child or righteousness. So, to go back, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the God of fear and the God of love. You can't have that. You have to choose between one or the other. I hope you will choose the God of love, our heavenly parent of love, patience. Eternal patience. Yes, that's how we should move forward. Yeah. Anywho. Oh, yeah. 2, reestablish the reputation of our heavenly parent. Yes? This is a really good, actually, passage. Especially with, as I said, what did King Darius do? There. Okay. And then, what did the governor of Trans-Euphrates have to do? How did that king discipline these guys? All right, was it wrong for them to go and ask? No. But they went and asked twice. I said there was, what about these other two, Xerxes, Artaxerxes? What's going on there? Why were they thrown in there? It doesn't make sense. That does not quite make sense, right? Yes? Anyway. So there it goes. But it all was worked out, and God found its place again, his place again, right? Within the Israelites. And not just the Israelites. Are you guys noticing on how God's already spread his wings in many ways? Right? Yes? In a good way? Just saying. All right, that's all I have to share this morning. Got to go to the barn soon. Yes. Plant a couple of little trees. Yes. And get ready. I gotta pray. I get ready for a little one. Must send good everything to my daughter. God's will, not mine, regardless. Hope. Always hope. Never fear. Always hope. Never fear. Always hope. Yes? May Heavenly Parent bless you, protect you, embrace you with love. And I will talk to y'all tomorrow.